It's so strange to me that today in 2024, I have never heard a single member of parliament saying, how about we fight for South Africans to have the access to the internet? Many South Africans today do not have the access to the internet. Guys, do you know what that means? It means a lot of people in this country do not have the access to the information. Majority of the people in the country, they are relying on the mainstream media for the information. And you know, the mainstream media manipulates the people. The mainstream media divides the people in the country. So people are actually, the only way they can actually access the news, the only way they can get to know what is happening in the country is by mainstream media. And the mainstream media is not going to paint exactly what is happening in the country. So you have a lot of people in the country that are misdirected, a lot of people in the country that are being lied to on a daily basis by the mainstream media. There's not a single politician in South Africa that is saying, guys, let's fight for South Africans to have the access to the internet, especially for the youth. I mean, guys, if you look at young people all over the world today, they are making huge advances with the internet. A lot of young people, man, internet is saving a lot of young people's lives. Why is it that South Africans, man, South African politicians are not saying, guys, you know, one of the ways we can actually fight this thing of unemployment rate is to make sure that many young people in the country, they have access to the internet. Guys, the internet is changing people's lives. The internet is changing people's lives, man. I'm one of those people whom I can say, guys, the internet has basically changed my life. I could have easily printed out a CV and went out to look for a job, but I decided to sit at home for like a year, learning everything that I'm going to do, learning about everything I'm going to do on the internet. And today I am proud to say that I have this platform, and through this platform, I can actually feed my family. I can actually feed my family. So I believe that if the internet can actually save me, the internet can save millions of others. I understand that not everyone wants to be a broadcaster. Not everyone wants to be a political commentator. But the internet is a very vast space. Many people can actually change their lives with the internet. Why is no one pushing this thing that the internet is a necessity for South Africans? The internet is a very necessity for South Africans, especially when it comes to the elections, so that South Africans can be informed about what is really happening in the country. You know, one of the things that really pains me is that the people that we are trying to access with these platforms, they will never get to watch these platforms. The people that we are trying to access through the social media, they do not even have the money to be on the social media. It's very painful. It's very painful. Why? Because people do not have the access to the internet. People do not have the access to the internet. I mean, right now, today, guys, we are going to watch this interview by Art TV. A lot of people have actually said, Thomas, can you please review that documentary of Art TV of Chris Pappas, the DA mayor of at Umgeni? This is what we are going to review today. But many people, man, are actually not going to see this documentary. I know Art TV made this documentary to actually make South Africans aware that, guys, this is what is happening around you. This is what is happening around you. But I can tell you today, only privileged people who can afford to be on this platform can actually watch this platform. But the people in the townships, the people who really need to look at what is happening in the country, the people who need to see what is happening in the country, they cannot view these platforms. Guys, do you understand that? Do you understand that the people we are trying to communicate to, they do not have the access to the internet? I don't see a single politician fighting for this fight, man. I don't see a single politician saying, guys, how about we help young people, man? Young people are stranded in South Africa. There's a lot of things young people can do on the internet. There's a lot of things young people can do on the internet. Instead of just saying young people must go to school, they must attain their degrees, they must attain their diplomas, and everything is going to be well. Young people, they go to school, they attain their degrees, they attain their diplomas, and what happens next? What happens next? These people, man, they go back home. They go back home, and now they are the victims of depression. They are the victims of all sorts of illnesses. Some of them, they even go as far as taking their own lives. They even go as far as taking their own lives, man. And you have to look again for South Africans, man. For South Africans, guys, can you imagine? Do you think today, if majority of people in the country, they actually had the access to the internet, do you think many people in the country would still vote for the African National Congress? I don't think so. I don't think majority of the people, if they had the access to the internet, if majority of the people, they can get to these platforms, I don't think many people would actually vote for the African National Congress. Guys, it doesn't take much for a person to change his mind. You don't need thousands of videos to change your mind. You only need 1, 2 videos to be like, man, I really need to review what I'm supporting. I really need to sit back and start judging this thing that I'm saying I'm supporting. Many people can make informed decisions if only they had the internet. Many people do not have the internet. The same political parties that are failing to fight for this fight so that South Africans can have the access to the internet are the same political parties that are today have YouTube channels, they have Facebook channels, they are trying to communicate with the masses. But guess what? The message is not getting to the masses because the masses cannot afford the internet. And you people are there in parliament. You actually can do something about these companies that are charging South Africans an arm and a leg for the internet. You know, every investigations that was done in the internet of South Africa has actually revealed that these service providers are charging South Africans an arm and a leg for the internet. No one in parliament is fighting that. The same people that failed to fight this, the same people that failed to see that, guys, if we fight for South Africans to have the access for the internet in 5 years time, before the elections, many people will have the access to the internet. So if we start communicating with the people through these social media platforms, people will actually get our message. But today, people are not getting the messages. People are not getting the message. Just go to Mpodagata of Arise SA. You know Mpodagata of Arise SA. Just check his channel. Look at what Mpodagata is talking about on Arise SA. Do you think the average South Africans, they will get to watch those videos? No. Average South Africans will never get to watch these videos. The video that we're about to watch today, average South Africans will never get to watch these videos. So what is the point for these guys to be on the internet and fail on the parliament and failing to see that, guys, if we fight for the internet, we don't have to go from community to community. We don't have to travel all over the country trying to decampaign the African National Congress. We can do everything on the internet. We can decampaign the ANC on the internet because we know the people are on the internet. The people, they can see what is happening through the internet. No one is fighting that fight. No one is fighting that fight. They are trying to take the fight from the African National Congress by going on the grassroots, but they do not have the enough budget. They do not have enough budget, man. You know that is campaigning season, man. Political parties are trying to see that, guys, how about we go to Durban? If we go to Durban, we're going to have to cancel going to the Free State. If we go to the Free State, we're going to have to cancel going to Northwest. They were not supposed to be on this position. They were not supposed to be on this position. If they fought for the internet for the past 5 years, if they fought for the internet, I'm telling you today, if majority of the people in the country, they had the internet, many political parties would actually be able to communicate with the people via social media. Social media would actually determine the elections. Social media would determine the elections. The ANC doesn't care about people having the internet. That's why they turned down Elon Musk with his Starlink thing. The ANC doesn't want people to have the internet. The ANC understands that if people have the internet, these people mean they're going to kick us out. These people are going to kick us out. It is not a surprise that the ANC turned down the Starlink with Elon Musk. It is not a surprise. They cannot even bear the thought of people in the rural places, man, sitting there, watching documentaries, watching political commentators, watching what is really happening in the country. They cannot even bear the thought of people actually doing that because they know if many people could access the internet, if many people could actually get to watch this content that we watch each and every day, people would change their minds about the African National Congress. People will never vote for the African National Congress. But today, I am bashing opposition parties because opposition parties, they failed to see this. They failed to see this. I mean, like, don't opposition parties have political strategies? Don't these people actually have strategies? It's surprising. It's surprising. Don't these people have strategies? You know, opposition parties, man. The reason why South Africans are not trusting these opposition parties is that these people, man, they would get to the communities and you know what they would say. They would talk about what every other opposition party is talking about. They would talk about what every other opposition party is talking about. Poor service deliver, load shedding, ANC bad, ANC incompetent. All the opposition parties are saying that. All the opposition parties are saying that. Guys, I've said this before. I said learn the game from the EFF, learn the game from Patriotic Alliance. You know, out of all the issues that are facing South Africa, Patriotic Alliance said, man, we are going to fight this fight of illegal foreigners in South Africa. We know the party. We have policies towards building the economy. We have policies towards security. We have policies towards healthcare. We have policies towards everything. But what we are going to communicate with South Africa with, we are going to talk with South Africans about this issue of illegal foreigners. Don't you think that if there was a political party in South Africa fighting for young people in this country to have the access of the internet, don't you think people in this country would actually follow that political party and say, man, we want to change our lives? We know that there's a lot of information on the internet. People, man, are not going to school. People now no longer go to school. YouTube is a university on its own. YouTube is a university on its own. Everything that you want to learn about, you can find it on YouTube. Every single thing that you want to learn about, you can find it on YouTube. You can learn how to fix a car on YouTube. You can learn everything on YouTube. You can learn everything. So I find it strange that out of all of these political parties, none of them actually said, guys, let's fight for the internet. Let's fight for the internet. If there's one thing that can actually attract young people to your political party, it's fighting for them and telling them, guys, we have a big fight. We know it's elections in 5 years' time, but we're going to start today. We're going to start today, man. It is very strange, man. I'm looking at these political parties, man. These people are going around talking about service delivery, going around talking about load shedding. Man, South Africans don't give a damn about service delivery. South Africans don't give a damn about load shedding. South Africans have voted against the service delivery for the past 30 years. South Africans have voted for load shedding for the past 30 years. South Africans have voted for the broken down state-owned entities for the past 30 years. South Africans voted for the broken down infrastructure for the past 30 years. South Africans voted for racial and identity politics for the past 30 years. So you go into the communities to talk about the service delivery. People are used to living on open sewages. People are used to their communities being illegal dumpings. These are the kind of conditions that people are used to. You remember when load shedding, man, started hitting South Africa hard, people thought that, man, if there's one issue that is actually going to hurt the African National Congress, is this issue of load shedding. If there's one issue that is going to kill this moment of African National Congress, it's load shedding. But guess what? Today people have their favorite schedules. You would think that if the ANC goes out to the people, if the ANC goes out and says, guys, we want to do a rally, we are doing a manifesto launch, you would think that the people would actually protest the African National Congress because load shedding has destroyed their lives. People have lost their jobs. People, man, have lost their businesses due to load shedding. You would think people would protest against the African National Congress. But no, people are still welcoming the African National Congress with warm hands. So I don't think talking about load shedding and how bad load shedding is and how bad the African National Congress is, I honestly do not think it is going to help your cause. I don't think it's going to help your cause. South Africans know that the African National Congress is the worst thing since apartheid. South Africans know. Everyone knows that. We know. Today South Africans are arguing about who is bad between apartheid and African National Congress. Who would have thought that today, when people would compare the African National Congress with the party that was running South Africa 30 years ago? Who would have thought people would do that? That's how bad the African National Congress is doing. So do you think you go into the communities and talking to the people about poor service delivery, do you think it's going to get your message across? No, it's not going to get your message across. If anything, people are going to think that you guys, all of you guys, you are sounding the same. This is what they are saying today, that all of these political parties are sounding the same. They're sounding the same. But guess what? They're not saying the same thing about Patriotic Alliance. They're not saying the same thing about Patriotic Alliance. Why? Because Patriotic Alliance is talking the different language from all of these political parties. Patriotic Alliance has decided that, guys, out of all of these issues, we are going to pick one controversial issues. We are going to run with it. South Africans are going to follow us because of this issue. And today, South Africans are following Patriotic Alliance because many South Africans are sick and tired of illegal immigration within our neighborhoods. This is the reason why Patriotic Alliance now has a lot of members. Patriotic Alliance has been in existence for the past 10 years. But ever since the Patriotic Alliance simply changed their messaging. They simply changed their messaging and said, guys, let's stop this nonsense and say illegal foreigners, illegal immigration. This is the fight that we are going to fight. This is the reason why I told political parties that, guys, you need to find a cause that you are going to fight for. South Africans, they love when someone fights for them for something. They love it when someone fights for them for something. When we get here and say that we're going to fight for electricity, we're going to fight for water, we're going to fight for service delivery, people, they can hear promises. I can tell you, man, if someone stands on the stage and talk about all the issues that are facing South Africa, when that person steps down, everyone would have forgotten what that person said. Why? Because every other political party is saying the same thing. But when Gayton McKenzie gets on stage and start ranting about illegal foreigners, no one forgets what Gayton McKenzie said. No one forget what Gayton McKenzie said. So this was supposed to be a moment for political parties to say, guys, let's pick one issue. Out of all these issues that are facing South Africa, let's pick one issue and fight for that issue. I honestly thought there was going to be a political party saying, we are fighting for the internet. We are fighting for the people of this country to have their access to the information. Because if the people of this country, they have access to the information, the people of this country, man, they would vote correctly. They would vote correctly. But no one is fighting that fight. No one is fighting that fight. Today, here we are, political parties trying to communicate with people via social media. The message is not getting through. The message is not getting through. So political parties actually have themselves to blame. You have yourselves to blame. There's no need right now to open a YouTube channel. Many people in the township, man, they cannot even afford to be on Facebook. What do you think people say about YouTube? People do not even install YouTubes on their phones. People don't even install YouTube on their phones because they say, man, that app is expensive. That app is expensive, man. That app is expensive. People have Facebook and they have Instagram and they have Twitter. Facebook is expensive. YouTube is expensive. Now political parties are opening up YouTube channels, trying to speak with the masses. The message is not getting through. The message is not getting through. If these political parties actually fought for the internet for the past 5 years, if many people, man, were actually given the access to the internet, if these people, man, when these people start talking with the people, the message would actually get through. That message would actually get through because a lot of people can actually have the access to the internet. And when people have the access to the internet, they have the access to the information. They have the access to the information. So guys, today we are looking at this documentary, like I said earlier, that many people have actually requested me to review this documentary of RTV about Mayor Chris Pappas, man. You know, Chris Pappas is one of my favorite mayors, man. Chris Pappas is one of my favorite mayors, man. This man is a 31-year-old. He's leading a whole municipality. This is something that we don't see with other political parties. This is something that we don't see with other political parties. Whether you love the DA or whether you hate the DA, man, you really have to give it to the party for trusting a 31-year-old with the municipality. How many political parties are trusting 31-year-olds with the municipalities? How many political parties are actually exercising what they are preaching? How many political parties, man? Political parties, they are just talking the talk. They are not walking the talk. They are talking the talk, but they are not walking the talk. So shout out to the Democratic Alliance, man, for trusting a young man with the whole municipalities. Not many political parties are doing this. Same people are failing to give their own people the services. So what do you call that? What do you call that? What do you call politicians who accuse of others of racism, but the same politicians are failing to give their own people the benefit, the benefits they pay for? What do you call that? The ANC, man. The ANC. You know when the ANC speaks about the DA, you know when the ANC speaks about the DA, man, you would swear that the ANC is doing an amazing job in South Africa. You would swear that the country is functioning. You would swear that all of these allegations that the ANC is basing against the DA, you would swear they actually have merit because the ANC is a party that actually works for the people. But the ANC is not a party that works for the people. The ANC is the party that goes around reminding people that, guys, we are black and you need to vote for us. And the only reason you need to vote for us is because we are black. Do not even vote for the Democratic Alliance. Don't even look at what Chris Pappas is doing at Umgeni. Guys, if you haven't watched this interview before, I suggested that you stick around. You're going to see what the young man is doing in Umgeni. The political parties are telling you, man, do not even look at what Chris Pappas is doing at Umgeni. The same political parties, man, are telling you that, man, do not even look at what is happening in Orania. I'm here on this platform telling you that, guys, let's look at Orania, man. Let's start loving our own communities. Let's start cherishing our own communities. The same political parties are saying, no, just look at us. Just look at us, man. Despite us stealing billions and billions of money that were supposed to improve your lives, the same political parties, man, they would go out and say that black people today, they are living a horrible reality because of what apartheid did to them. Black people today, they are living a horrible reality because of the white monopoly capital. But the same politicians, they would steal the billions and billions that were supposed to improve people's lives, and they would go to the same people and say, guys, the reason why you are not getting these services is because of the white monopoly capital. Guys, I need black people to start waking up. I need black people to start waking up. It can be. It can be. Every time when you hear someone saying that, man, the country is still run by the minority. Today, black people, man, are not advancing because the country is still run by the minority. I'm like, man, how much money has been stolen by politicians in South Africa? How much money has been stolen by politicians in South Africa? What do you think that money could have actually done? Don't you think the money, all of the money that was stolen by the politicians, don't you think that money could have actually helped the South Africans? No, the country is still run by the minorities. So all the problems that black people are facing today is because the country is still run by the minorities. Don't mind us. Don't mind me with my Rolls Royce and my 100 million rand mansion. No, don't mind me. I'm a public servant, but I'm living in a 100 million rand house. Do not mind me. Do not mind me. Look at this, look at this, look at the DA. You see the DA? The DA is trying to put you back in a hole. Look at the DA. No, don't look at these millions that I'm stealing from your children. Do not look at your future, your children's future that I'm destroying with my friends. Me and my friends, every day, we go to the offices to destroy your children's future. But do not look at that. Do not look at that. Me and my friends, we had a third majority in this country. I'm saying Thabo Mbeki. Me and my friends, we had a third majority in this country. Man, our people need to start seeing things better, man. Our people need to start seeing things better. It can't be. It can't be that racial politics is always prioritized. It can't be. Look at Umgeni, man. The ANC has been running that place for how long? The ANC has been running that place for how long? But the people in that place, man, they do not have the toilets. They do not have the infrastructure. They are still living in the squalors. But the ANC is telling them that, guys, DA is not the option. DA is not the option, man. All political parties are options. All political parties are options, man. Guys, do not let anyone blackmail you into voting for what they want you to vote for. All political parties are options. Do not listen to political parties when they tell you such and such political parties are not options. All political parties are options. What really matters is the betterment of your life. What really matters is the betterment of your lives. Many people, man, I can see, even with the people that are the victims of the African National Congress, they still want people to play politics. People want people to play politics. Politicians, they want people to play politics. And people, man, their lives are living hell, and people do not have time to play politics. People don't have time to play politics, but this is what politicians want. Politicians want people to play politics. Politicians want people to start ranting about these popular terms, to start ranting. Politicians want people to play politics. I'm on this platform telling people that, guys, start voting for the betterment of your life. Start voting for the betterment of your life. People need to stop behaving like that, man. I'm sick and tired when I see people behave like that. And it makes me sick to see people behave like that. It makes me sick seeing people, man, embrace that whole ideology of groupthink. People need to start thinking independently. People need to start thinking independently. And I don't know what is it we are going to do to start helping South Africans to think independently. Think independently. Make decisions independently. Look at your life. Look at the people that are running your municipality. Are you happy with the job that those people are doing? If you are not happy about how your municipality is run, why do you keep voting for the same political party? It makes no sense. Why do you keep voting for the same political party? To me, it makes no sense. Your life is a living hell. Your children are sitting at home unemployed, but you keep voting for the same political party, and you are hoping things are going to be better. Things are not going to be better. Things are not going to be better. Guys, I'm saying it again. Politicians, they thrive on hate and divisions. Politicians thrive on hate and divisions. Don't ever think that the same people who divided the country can turn around and unite the country. Don't think the same political party that destroyed everything in this country will turn around and fix everything. It is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. It frustrates me when I see people applying the groupthink. There's nothing more disgusting than seeing people applying groupthink.
Look at the social media, we look at what the leadership have been doing, and we see improvement, and then the hope is coming back.
Isn't it strange? Isn't it strange that when Umgeni was run by the Kedas, isn't it strange when Umgeni was run by black people? These young black people, man, didn't even bother themselves working with the municipality because they know there's no way these people are going to work with us. Isn't it strange? Isn't it strange? I mean, guys, do you understand why I'm so passionate about South Africans actually having the access to the internet? Because average South Africans are not going to see this video. Average South Africans, man, they did not even watch this documentary. Isn't it strange? The same ANC tells you that the DA is not the option. Go to these young people, man, and tell them that the DA is not the option. Go to these young people, man, that were actually given opportunities to do something with their lives by the Democratic Alliance. Go to them and tell them that the DA is not an option. Go to them and tell them to vote for the African National Congress. Man, they will kill you. They will kill you. They were starving with African National Congress running the municipality. They were starving with the same party that says it loves black people. They were starving with that party. But this party that supposedly hate black people gave them opportunities. Go to them, tell them that the DA is not an opportunity. Tell them that the DA is not the option.
According to Freedom, he didn't have the right networks before, by which he means connections.
Of course, everything is connections. Everything is connections. Everything is connections. You cannot get anything in South Africa without connections. More especially if you want to deal with the municipalities, man, it's even worse. It's even worse. Getting the bursaries, man, people are getting the bursaries through the connections. People are getting the bursaries through the connections, man. People out there. You need to be on the limelight. You need to be on the limelight. Chris Pappas must do the right thing. Chris, if you get to watch this video, man, make sure that your deputy mayor is on the spotlight. This is only 28 years old. Only 28 years old. It's an inspiring story. This is something that young people, man, need to look at. This is something that young people need to look at. It's very inspiring, man.
Yeah, he delegates a lot of...
Not afraid. Say that we have voted for the Democratic Alliance. This is what I'm telling you, that people are actually being ashamed to vote for change. People are ashamed in South Africa to vote for change. This is the reason why that young lady says, I am not afraid to say that I voted for the Democratic Alliance. It's because people are being shamed to vote for change. Right now, you go to these young ladies, you ask them about Chris Pappas, you ask them about the Democratic Alliance and the change that Chris Pappas has brought into their lives. Do you think these people, man, will vote for the African National Congress? No, they would never vote for the African National Congress. But the fact that they have to mention that they are not afraid to say that they voted for the DA, it shows you that people are still bashing people like these ones for voting for the Democratic Alliance, despite the DA bringing the changes into their lives. They are being shamed for voting for the DA, despite the DA bringing changes into their lives. So if it was according to the people, if it was according to these racial hating people, these people, men, should have voted for the African National Congress, or in 2021, not voting for the DA, vote for the EFF. These people, men, are actually ashamed. This is the reason why that young lady says, I am not ashamed, because she understands that when you say that I'm going to vote for the DA, many people lose their minds. Many people lose their minds. Unemployed people sitting at home, victims of the African National Congress, they lose their minds when you say you're going to vote for the DA. They want you to continue voting for the African National Congress. These people are unemployed. These people are unemployed. This is why it is so funny when ANC is doing door-to-door, knowing very well that the same people that are doing door-to-door, promising young people jobs, they are unemployed themselves. They are unemployed themselves. This is why I was asking the ANC, Youth League President, Colin Malachi, that, man, how can you stand there and talk about employment when 80% of the ANC Youth League is unemployed? I'm sure to come. When people get there, the mayor will blab, and after blabbing, they will leave. People will never get to see the mayor. People in the neighborhoods, how many people, man, have actually sat in an office of the mayor? Wherever you are right now, how many people have actually sat in the office of the mayor? Many people have never set their eyes on the office of the mayor. These people, man, they feel like they are not even supposed to speak with us. The mayors in South Africa, man, the people who are working for the mayors, they see average South Africans as irritants, but irritants who must just continue voting for them and leave them alone. Vote for us and leave us alone. This is how it's be. Guys, if you know me, you know that I'm very passionate about the small business sector. I'm very passionate about the small business sector because I believe that for us to fight unemployment in South Africa, man, we really have to focus again on this thing of a small business sector. I mean, if you look at the economies of the most wealthiest countries in the world, I mean, these economies, they are driven by the small business sectors. But in South Africa, we don't have a strong small business sector. This is one of the reasons, again, I was criticizing the leadership of the ANC Youth League, because these people, man, they get on stage, they start talking about these political talking points. They don't talk about the issues that are actually changing people's lives. They don't talk about changing people's lives on the ground. I mean, like right now, with this documentary, guys, you have seen people there on the ground, man. You saw in that community of Mpupin, people didn't need a lot of things. People simply wanted the lights and water. People simply wanted the water and the lights. ANC in 30 years, they failed to give people light, they failed to give people water, man. They failed to even buy those big Jojo tanks for the people. They failed to do that. This Pappas, in 1 year, he has given those people lights, he has given those people water, those people in South Africa. Man, we have young people in this country who have brilliant ideas. We have young people in this country who have small businesses. And if these small businesses can get a bit of assistance, these people, man, they can grow these businesses and actually hire other young people. I'm really happy, man, to see that his purpose is changing the people's lives on the ground. It is not about the political rhetoric. It's about changing the people's lives on the ground. The ANC has failed, man. They are failing. They can see that young people in this country today, they can see young people in this country today, they are drowning. They're still telling young people that, guys, go to school, attain your degrees, man, and hopefully some company is going to hire you. Hopefully some company is going to hire you. This Pappas is going around in his communities, looking at these businesses, man, saying that, okay, you see that it's a salon. If we can fund this salon, man, if we can give this lady proper mentorship, this lady can actually grow this salon and she can actually hire other young people. They go around looking for small businesses that has a potential of actually growing and hiring other young people. This is what we need to talk about as young people in this country. This is what is important in this country. I told you guys that taking the money, putting it into NSFAS, it is as good as taking the money and flushing it down the toilet. Flushing it down the toilet. If today we are at the position where we have unemployed doctors, if we have people who have studied medicine and sitting at home, then it shows you that, man, we really need to start looking at things different. We need to start looking at things different. And shout out to Chris Pappas, man. This is what I've been talking about for the longest time. The ANC says nothing about improving the small business sector in this country. They say nothing about helping young people with brilliant ideas. They say nothing about that. They simply want you to focus on politics, man. They simply want you to focus on politics. You remember the ANC Youth League president said that, man, we want to fight for young people in this country. And our way for fighting for young people in this country is telling ANC to get rid of 50% of its people in parliament and replace them with us. No, these people, they want positions. They don't care about young people in this country. They don't care about young people in this country. Man. So if you want to play racial politics, go to Umgeni, go to this lady and tell this lady that she voted for a racist. Go and tell this lady that she was helped by a racist. Go and tell her if you are so interested in racial politics. If you're interested in racial politics, man, this is what actually I love seeing. This is what you think the ANC would do in government. You would think the ANC would actually have a department that can actually go in the communities and see what young people are doing. Go in the community, see what young people are doing. Open up, man. Allow, tell young people, man, to give you proposals. But no, the ANC cadres are stealing these proposals of young people. The ANC cadres are stealing the proposals of young people, man. Young people are writing to the municipalities, asking for budgets. They are telling them that, guys, this is what we want to do with the budgets. And guess what? Those idiots in the municipal offices are stealing the young people's ideas. This is what they are doing. They are stealing young people's ideas.
It's as if she's won the lottery. She has been able to...
An opposition member, but as someone in government, to take what I've learned here and try and fix the systems of our provincial government.
You know, guys, me personally, watching this documentary, if there's one thing that I really admire about Chris Pappas and the work that he's doing, is that he's working for the people on the ground. Chris Pappas is not focused on the political slogans. He's not focused on the political controversies. He's actually doing his best to help his people, man, on his communities. The people on the ground that the ones who are telling you about the improvements that Chris Pappas has actually brought into their lives. Chris Pappas does not rely on the DA rhetoric saying that we are the best municipality, or the DA saying we are the best political party. This purpose is allowing people in the communities to say, what have we done? What have we done? So many politicians in South Africa, man, they are focused on the political slogans, and they are focused on dividing South Africans, man. If you have to go to the grassroots and ask the people on the grassroots about the work that politicians are doing, man, people are so disgusted with politicians. People are so disgusted with politicians. Guys, please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button. And the most important part is subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabau, so I will see you next time. Bye-bye.